Hey everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. I don't know when this will come out, never do know when they are, but I'm shooting this on a Wednesday, a hump day, although that doesn't mean a whole lot for me down here. But anyway, let's get right to it. I want to talk about common sense on this raw vegan lifestyle. I'm sure you've heard the old saying that common sense isn't really all that common. I don't think I ever spend a day where if I go online, unless I'm totally offline, which is not very often, when I don't just hear some utter nonsense that comes out of the raw vegan world, whether it's a video I happen to click on just to see what's going on, or whether it's in something on social media. I mean, there's some doozies out there. Listen, I don't need, my methods are really simple. I don't need a lot of big big explanations, long explanations, convoluted explanations with a lot of fancy words, a lot of big words. I'm about cutting to the chase. And one of the I'm always about trusting myself, and there is a line there, and you got to really understand what I'm talking about. You have to have a little knowledge behind you. You have to do a little reading on your own, but you have to have a good filter. I've talked about this before. But one thing I want to tell you, in any part of life, always be very hesitant on. If you're tending to go in one direction, or if somebody's pulling you in one direction, or somebody's telling you you should do this or you should make a choice, and everything in you is screaming the opposite, you need to learn how to really foster that inner voice. If you know nothing about the subject matter, whatever it might be, then that might not be valid. But most of the time, we don't trust that little voice enough, or most people don't. I've always trusted that voice. I've always been very intuitive on certain things, and I trust me over somebody that might even be a lot more qualified on a particular subject or something. A lot of times, not always, but that's about honing that filter. I'm good at knowing that too, and that's a form of common sense. I know who to listen to. I'm not foolish. I mean, I recognize people that know more about me than a lot of different things out there, and I do listen. I'm not hard-headed, but I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about things that just go, you might be doing them on this lifestyle, but they just don't feel right. They just don't feel right. And I did, like everybody else, I went through phases, and I did things like that in the beginning. And I would listen to people, and I was even a little worse than maybe some of you are. I really wanted to get this thing, so I really listened to people. And you know what? Sometimes I did sort of, not like, well, I didn't have that voice yet, about the raw vegan. And it is going to take you a little while to get that voice and to be able to discern what is loco, crazy, and what is valid. So that's why I'm always saying, watch as many different people as you can. Listen to as many different styles. Listen to people that argue. Listen to people that listen to contradicting viewpoints on things. Because that's where you're going to start learning to sift through all the information and kind of figure out who to listen to on that stuff. But always go back to your common sense. I might not understand all the science, and I might not, a lot of times, even be able to explain or understand the why behind something, but I've got a pretty good bullshit detector. And I'm going to tell you something, in the raw vegan world, if you're going to be online, if you're going to be watching videos, if you're going to network, if you're going to be in groups, you need a pretty good set of boots to wade through that bullshit in the raw vegan world. Like I say, going back to every day I hear utter nonsense, I just hear things every day that I'm like, I know this person has enough common sense not to just buy this hook, line, and sinker because somebody that you've put on a pedestal as a guru might be saying to do it. Don't ever put anybody on a pedestal. Gurus, especially in this, listen, I'm not totally against the whole guru thing, but there ain't enough experience. There's really not enough of there's really not enough, what am I trying to say, time in this raw vegan thing. Even the people out there that are the old schoolers, they've been doing it 20, 25, 30 years. Now they have a lot of information to impart, but still I just don't think that's an old enough, that this whole thing's been around long enough to have gurus or people irrefutable that you just put up on this pedestal. There's some people that have the knowledge, probably qualify them to be put up on a pedestal, but I don't ever put anybody up on a pedestal. I question everybody. Nobody has status that impresses me to the point where I just do what you say, hook, line, and sinker. And that's what you've got to be. You've got to be an advocate for yourself, because you see this is what you're dealing with. Your body, your most valuable asset that's carrying you through this life. So, let's don't be like the generation before that just, went to the doctors, and if he had a white coat on, we accepted what they had to say. A lot of people have just kind of shifted that mentality a little bit to their gurus or whatever, but always be your own advocate. I don't know, maybe that comes from me being a loner. I've just always kind of tried to figure things out on my own, and that's been my approach. Hey, and as I'm telling you to watch a lot of stuff out there, I'm not telling you don't watch anybody. I'm just saying be inquisitive. Check some of this stuff out on your own. Maybe you've been told things in this lifestyle that just didn't resonate with you, but didn't sound right, and your inner voice will say, no, this isn't the way to go. Maybe you went that way anyway because you deferred to someone that you considered more knowledgeable than you, or that you considered more experienced than you. No matter who tells you what, verify your information, check around on it, see what other people have to say on the same subject. That's what I do. That's what I do on anything I approach. I just start, like right now I'm working on a project. It's an e-commerce project that I have a lot to learn about. So I'm just like, that's a little bit of an example, because I'm just throwing myself into something with an open mind. I'm listening to different approaches on a couple of things, and I don't have a set opinion. I'm coming into something as a learner, as someone that is seeking the knowledge or learning, and also needs to get there as quickly as possible. Like I say, on this lifestyle, it's a marathon, not a sprint, but there's no reason you don't want to get there in the quickest time possible in a healthy and comfortable way to you. Anyhow, like I say, use your common sense. Don't think that you don't know anything. Don't put everybody ahead of you. Don't just listen. Don't be a follower. Don't be a part of the crowd. You've got to be active in this thing. And don't like I said earlier, when I said I don't need a lot of I can understand fancy explanations. I'm a fairly well-read person. I just can't I can't store much of that data up here in this old brain. But I don't need those fancy words. Just and don't be afraid to ask people. If you're watching YouTube videos and they throw around big words all the time, get in there and ask them, what do you mean by that? What does that actually mean? Break it down, get down into layman's terminology. Let's don't try to make this thing so complicated. I think that's, as I've got a lot of interest, whether it's, techie stuff online, meditation, spiritual, the food, whatever. And I'm always looking at people's processes. And if you start thinking in terms of a reasonable process, you can do most anything in life, or you can use this process on a number of different subjects. And I just always try to go for the simple. And sometimes I would actually go even that opposite and say, I don't trust people that are always complicated. I don't trust people that always have to have a big word in their explanation. I don't trust people that make this thing, look like some sort of big, you got to have steps and programs and this and that and whatever. It's our natural way of eating. And I'll finish it right there so I don't just kind of keep repeating myself. But trust yourself. You're smarter than you know. You're smarter. You're even smarter about, even if you think, you might be 100 pounds overweight and you think, I don't know anything. He's not talking to me. Yes, I am. You're smarter than you think. You know your body. You've lived in that body. And even if you haven't been good to that body, you've learned a lot of lessons by the abuse you've put on yourself. So don't underestimate yourself. be active in this process. Be active in healing your body. Be active in just getting yourself to a thriving place. But you know what? Watch out for those BSers, because they'll confuse you sometime. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll hit that subscribe button and come back for my daily videos. And when you hit the subscribe button, click on the bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. And whenever this comes out, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Love you guys. Peace.